We continue with the 2023 matric results theme. Life after high school has proven to be interesting as students experience a plethora of possible opportunities. For many, the reality of not knowing what to do after matric is disconcerting. But to help us with practical tips for those who've passed grade 12 is Professor Labby Ramrathan of the School of Education at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. Prof, thank you so much for your time and for joining us this evening. What are some of the common challenges that matriculants face when transitioning to life after matric?
Well, good evening, Katleko, and good evening to your viewers. I think the biggest challenge is finding access to post-school opportunities. And I think our matric basically guides students towards, going beyond just the matric. So that's the next phase of the life. And there are various options that are available to you, to the learners. One is accessing the traditional universities, which normally offer degree programs. Another is to go into universities of technologies that offer both degrees and diploma programs, as well as some higher certificates. There are other opportunities. For example, one could actually aspire to take on learnerships that may become available in various technical and professional fields, so that they get access to information about what those fields are and be able to align their interest with those kinds of opportunities. There is also the technical and vocational opportunities that students can pursue, and obviously there is the self-employment. So there's a whole range of things that are available to the learners post-matric.
So, Prof, for those that then have the opportunity to go and study further, what would you say are the key do's and don'ts for some of them in terms of their academics and choosing a specific career path?
I think the first thing is to establish what exactly they would like to pursue, and I think the school education provides them with some opportunities to be able to determine the kinds of things that they want to do beyond schools. And so the kind of basic thing that learners need to really have as part of their repertoire of things is that they must be able to self-study. They must be able to have an inquiry mind. They must be able to take the initiative. They must be able to lead their interest and find out, rather than waiting for others to tell them what to do. And I think that's the most important tips that I can give, is that there's a whole lot of information out available to them.
Prof,
Access is information.
Of course, access is of very importance. I mean, for those that are looking to further their education, how important is it to further education or acquire a new skill? Because, as you mentioned, for many other students, the opportunities are not there. But how important is it for that furtherance of education, especially immediately after matric?
Yeah, I think what we've gone into, and maybe this is a global phenomenon, is that certification has been the path to the world of work. And I think that's what most of us are aspiring towards, is to get a certification, be it a diploma or a bachelor's degree or an honors or master's, as an entry into the space of the world of work. So that has become, the transactory thing between the students, the university, and the world of work.
And you mentioned earlier on, Prof, that, there's an array of things that students could potentially find themselves doing. And you mentioned that the gap year. What are the potential benefits and drawbacks of taking a gap year before pursuing higher education or even entering into the job market?
Quite often we want to rush into things. And often when we go to universities, we may not necessarily get the program of choice that we want to pursue. So taking a year gap will provide us with the space, with the opportunities to research, to explore, to pay attention to, rather than study, about what is it that I can do with the matric results that I have, and then begin to explore options around them. So the gap year is very important in that it creates a space that you now begin to interrogate yourself, interrogate your results, interrogate what opportunities that you have, and then be able to make considered choices about what I want to move forward. Because quite often we tend to, just take any courses that are available to us because we want to access university. And quite often we find that many students fail or drop out because they haven't pursued their interest. And so the gap year provides space and opportunities for the learners to be able to really think about very seriously and explore the options that they want to pursue.
Lastly and very quickly, Prof, we know that at this time of the year when a lot of students are looking to getting into institutions, they often quite find themselves in bogus institutions. How do you know that an institution is accredited? What are the red flags? What are the checks and balances that parents in particular should look out for?
Well, firstly, if one applies to university and the university or the institution just accepts you, without reviewing what you are doing, so that's one of the red flags. Secondly, if you know that you've performed poorly in mathematics, basically just about passing or getting a diploma or bachelor's, and you're accepted into the university, that's another red flag, because remember, there's limited spaces at universities, and selections are normally done largely on meritocracy. So you do well, you get accepted, first. The third option, which is the most safest option, is to access the Council for Higher Education websites to establish which institutions are accredited, because all of the institutions offering any post-school education have to get accredited from the Council for Higher Education.
All right, Prof, thank you so much for that insight. Surely a lot of matriculants could use a lot of that information in the year to come. That was Professor Labby Ramrathan of the School of Education at the University of KwaZulu-Natal telling us what life is like post-matric.